When it comes to treating serious or life-threatening diseases, speeding drug development and delivery is in everyone's interest. The Accelerated Approval Program is one way the FDA helps make new, potentially life-saving drugs available more quickly. Hi, I'm Captain Mary Kremsner, and this is Drug Info Rounds, brought to you by the pharmacist in the FDA's Division of Drug Information. I'm joined by FDA pharmacist Commander Catherine Chu, who will examine the accelerated approval process and what it means for the medical community. Kat, can you provide a little context about the origins and intentions of the program?
Absolutely. When starting a new drug, Mary, as you know, it can take a very long time, oftentimes several years, to definitively demonstrate a clinical benefit and then go through the process of securing FDA approval. In 1992, the FDA instituted its Accelerated Approval Program as a way to speed new drugs to market that treat serious diseases and fill an unmet medical need.
Now, Kat, exactly how does the FDA determine when an expedited approval is warranted?
Generally, drugs are approved under accelerated approval if they have the potential to impact factors, things like survival, day-to-day function, or the likelihood of stopping a disease from progressing and becoming an even more serious condition.
Now, Kat, earlier you mentioned filling an unmet medical need. How would you define that?
An unmet medical need simply means providing a therapy where none exists, or providing a new therapy that may be superior to or less toxic than an existing one.
So, without the standard clinical outcomes, how does FDA determine if a treatment is potentially effective?
Great question, Mary. Accelerated approvals use what we call a surrogate endpoint in clinical trials. These are markers or a physical sign of sorts used as an indirect measurement to predict a clinically meaningful outcome, like survival or symptom improvement.
So exactly how does a surrogate endpoint save time in the drug approval process?
Well, for example, instead of having to wait to learn if a drug prolongs survival in cancer patients, the FDA has approved drugs based on evidence that they shrink tumors. As a surrogate endpoint, tumor shrinkage is reasonably linked to a real clinical benefit.
Okay, so let me make sure I have this. Let's say a drug goes through accelerated approval and gets to market. How do we know if it really provides that clinical benefit?
Any approvals given based on surrogate endpoints are on the condition that the sponsor will conduct post-marketing clinical trials to verify the anticipated benefit. If these trials, called Phase 4 Confirmatory trials, show the drug does in fact provide a clinical benefit, then and only then does the FDA grant traditional approval for that drug.
Worst case scenario, Kat, what if the drug fails to prove that clinical benefit?
In that case, the FDA has a series of regulatory procedures in place that could eventually lead to the drug's removal from the market.
The Accelerated Approval Program strikes just the right balance between safety and speed, which can make all the difference to patients with serious or life-threatening diseases. If you have questions about the Accelerated Approval Program, call or email the FDA's Division of Drug Information.